Hearts Against Hunger 5K. I ran this one last year and actually ran my personal best in an official race. I ran a 16:14 last year. Won the race. Very cool nonprofit thing they've got going on here, where they raise funds for feeding people with needs. Connected with the local church here, I believe. I am in Orlando. Again, this is Food for the Hungry 5K. I'm about ready to do a warm up here. Let's see if we can make it 2 wins. Become the local legend in all the local races here. I don't know, maybe I'll have some competition this time around. We're about 15 minutes out from the race. It is already 74 degrees and suffocatingly humid. And by 8, I think it's going to be about 76. So not a super cool morning. But what I do love about this course is it's pretty flat. This is about as flat of a 5K course I think I've ever ran. I think you start at like 100 feet elevation, maybe get down to 86 at one point. Come back up, not a lot of anything, pretty flat. So that should be fun. I'm just gonna run part of the course, get a little bit warmed up, see what's cooking today. I mean, I came down with a head cold midway through this week, so I've been feeling a little wiped out, and I did run that Indy mini marathon a week ago and ran my best time. The Luke Humphrey equivalency calculator says with my 1:14:33 half, it means I should be able to run like a 16:12 right now, 5K. But yeah, I'm not particularly trained for a 5K. I'm coming off a lot of strength. I did a marathon, then I did a half marathon, but I haven't really done any 5K specific sessions. I just haven't had enough time. Just been recovering from these longer big races that I've been doing. So this will be about as fast as I've ran in a while. I don't want to go out too crazy, but I want to give myself a shot at a good time. So I am going to try to hit about a 5:15 pace as soon as possible and just see if I can sustain even splits the first 2 miles and then give it all I've got on the last. And if for some reason I'm feeling great and I can negative split that last mile and get a PB, great. Otherwise, I can also see myself falling apart and just not having it today. So, but it's always worth trying. So let's see what happens. T-minus 12 minutes, T-minus 12. I did like a 3-mile warm-up, jogged the course. Excited, really hot out. So I am just trying to cool down, blasting the AC, and then I've got ice water here, which I'll pour on my head last minute, right before we start the race. They don't have a backdrop, so I'm gonna put my keys in my shoelaces. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, if you've gone on a long run or something and didn't have a place to store your keys if you had driven somewhere to run. I do that sometimes. I'll put my key in my shoelace, and it's gonna weigh down that right leg a little bit. It's a heavy key. That could be the key to success. We'll just have to see. All right, catch you after the race. All right, so my goal was to try to do a 5:12 average pace on my Strava on my watch. Ended up with a 5:11 average pace, so I nailed that, which got me a Strava time of 16:06 for a 5K, which is my second fastest ever. And that's off a lot of marathon training and half marathon training. So that's great news coming in from a strength standpoint. And this summer, I'd like to hone in a little bit more on my speed and see if I can get that under 16. Now, the official course was a bit long. They had lengthened it from last year. And so even though I ran a couple seconds slower this year, I think I was 16:19, 16:20 official. We'll see what the official results are. I was, pace-wise, I was much faster than I was last year. So the course was a little little long, but I'll take it. To run a 16:19
16:20 on a long course, I'll take it any day. With a Strava 5:11 pace. Really happy. I mean, that Luke Humphrey race calculator, race equivalency calculator is pretty much on point for me for whatever reason. Whatever I run in like a half marathon or 10K, I can usually type in those recent times, punch it into the calculator, and it's going to tell me what I should aim for a 5K, for a marathon, and so on. So I was told I should be able to run a 16:12 based on the half marathon I just ran of 1:14:33. And so I was right in that range. Really happy with that. Yeah, on to the next. Next weekend, I think I'm going to do my first Claremont Park Run 5K since January. And I ran a 16:23 there, and that's kind of a hillier course, but not terrible. But I'd like to set an all-time PR there. We'll see. And then 8 days after that, I'm heading up to Huntsville, Alabama for the Cotton Row Run. Last year I won the Masters Division, got a nice little $600 prize. Taking my family up this year. We're going to camp in the area at Cathedral Caverns State Park and have a good time and enjoy celebrating our veterans who sacrificed their lives so that we can have freedom. Praise God. So yeah, more on that. I'll keep you guys posted as I work towards the Cotton Row 10K. And that's a fun course. It's uphill the first half. It's got a 200-meter section with about 100 feet of elevation gain. And then the second half is a steady downhill. So it's an interesting, hard race, not a fast race, but a race for somebody who has strength. So it'll be a good test. All right, you guys have a great one. What a cool venue. What a cool race. Hearts for Hunger 5K. I love what those guys do. Again, that's a nonprofit organization, and they raise funds to help out families in need. And they're all about loving God and loving your neighbor, and the focus of their ministry is the latter, loving your neighbor. Encountering people throughout the day, throughout the week, you see they have a need, and you're in a position to meet them where their need is appropriately, then they have a heart for wanting to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Pretty cool.